You're watching F5. We are here at F5 AppWorld 2025 at the Fontainebleau in Las Vegas. Wonderful spot. We are actually in this community area of the hub. So we've got user experience insiders. We've got a podcast area back there, DevCentral, Nginx community. Part of our community though is our partners, and we're working with Equinix quite a lot lately. So I've got Kevin with me. Kevin, can I get you to introduce yourself?
Yes, hey, good to be here. So my name is Kevin Scahill, and I'm Director of Product for our Equinix Network Edge.
Fantastic, all right. This is going to be an interesting subject actually, but maybe just for the folks who might not know Equinix, can you give me just a little brief background on Equinix itself?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I think a lot of folks may know Equinix for its data centers. We have over 260 data centers in 65 metropolitan locations. And we're cloud adjacent, meaning that very low latency to all of the clouds. But we're also an internet connection hub. So we have more than 90% of the internet's traffic goes through Equinix. And that means we have network service providers, cloud service providers, and increasingly other application service providers that are all available on our fabric at Equinix. So that's one of the main value props of Equinix.
Fantastic. I know I used to be out in the field working in a territory, and everybody had Equinix there. It was kind of like almost a de facto, not quite a monopoly, but you guys were definitely out there doing lots of stuff. And you guys offer services on top, and so your product management for one of those services, Network Edge, and maybe we can
Correct.
get a background on that.
Yeah. So Network Edge really builds on the interconnection value proposition of Equinix, right? So when somebody wants to do, say, for example, multi-cloud networking, right? It's pretty difficult to call up one of the cloud providers and say, hey, could you dig a trench to my 2,000 locations so I can get some really, low latency connections, right? Instead, they take advantage of things like AWS Direct Connect or Azure Express Route or Google Cloud Interconnect or Oracle Cloud Interconnect, et cetera, et cetera. They do that by coming to Equinix because we actually have buildings right next to each other. And in many cases, we have less than a millisecond latency between our offerings. And so, traditionally, customers may come to Equinix and deploy their networking gear in cabinets or cages. And the offering that I provide allows customers to deploy virtually. So essentially infrastructure as a service in a lot of respects, right? So rather than having to buy physical gear, ship it to all the locations, and manage the hardware through its life cycle, you can get it up and running in minutes on a variety of different networking functions.
Wow, that's fantastic. How long have you guys been offering this service?
So we've been offering this service since about 2019, and we've certainly grown it over the period of time. And so we now have the leading vendors in routing, firewalling, SD-WAN, multi-cloud, and now DDI as well. And we're continuing to grow the marketplace. The whole idea is that we want to have all the functions that you need so that you can create your kind of network performance hub virtually as opposed to having to do so physically.
Network performance hub, I love that, because with the adjacency, you're so close. This is a perfect insertion point, I guess, to be able to do stuff really quickly and add that security.
Absolutely. So I mean, it's a great way to essentially create this interconnected oriented architecture. So as organizations move away from kind of centralized data centers to be able to deploy their applications globally. In the cloud isn't like one place in the cloud, there it is in the sky. It's like, it's east, west of the Americas, it's north, south, east, west in Asia Pac, north, south, east, west in EMEA. It's many different locations because you want to improve that experience for your customers, your partners, and your employees. And so Equinix helps you build those points of presence, and Equinix Network Edge helps you do so virtually.
Yeah, super. And that might be like a stepping stone, or maybe like it's a transition. Maybe they have traditional colo, but maybe they just, they have a few customers, or their business is starting to grow in a certain area, so they could just inch their way with this?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, there's a lot of our customers that started with us in co-location, and they continue to, for very high performance needs, they may still need to deploy hardware in co-location. But increasingly, when they want to create a new point of presence, because maybe they're expanding into a new market, or they have partners in different areas of the world, they want to do so virtually. Many of them really don't want to deploy physically if they don't have to. And so, again, that's kind of what we enable there.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so we just made an announcement during AppWorld here with you guys. Maybe you can give me a little bit of a briefing on that.
Yeah, so I think it's a great partnership. It's like peanut butter and jelly, or maybe peanut butter and chocolate, depending on what you like better. Yeah, so I mean, like we can help customers to build those globally scalable deployments, and F5 with our integration of the F5 Distributed Cloud Customer Edge service on the Network Edge marketplace, we'll be able to collectively help customers to securely deploy and secure their applications, and to continue to be able to monitor them, have unified management, unified policy. So I think it's a really strong and complementary relationship, like where we're building kind of the foundation, and then you have that next layer above that to be able to do the application delivery and control of the actual applications.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one's the peanut butter, which one's the chocolate. I'll take either.
Exactly.
And what I like about that too, though, is best of both worlds, because a customer, one of your customers might have a lot of Equinix going, and then they might also have a lot of F5 doing all these other functions. So for a customer to see the two, for each of us in our space are, the leaders in the space, so being able to have joint solutions so that they don't have to do anything awkward, they can just use everything.
No unnatural acts required, right? I think they come together quite naturally. And we talked about customers that have a presence at Equinix, but using Network Edge, but fully a third of our Network Edge customers come new into Equinix because they may be cloud native to begin with, right? So they may not be a global 2,000 organization, but they're growing, and they're growing rapidly, and they need to be able to expand to deliver their applications globally. And so I think the partnership here, again, will help those customers to really accelerate.
With where Equinix is, I think you guys are seeing the future essentially, because people can build things really, really fast with you guys, and you're essentially you have to get the network going before you build all of the other stuff. So what kind of insights do you have on where people are heading towards, say, over the next year or so?
Yeah, so I mean, I think the fundamental thing that's changing the world these days is AI, right? And so AI consumes a lot of data, as we all know, and it produces a lot of data across all these different media types. And so I think we're just going to continue to see organizations build out presence in multiple locations, again, to hit their partners, their employees, and their customers, and be in those locations, and have the data and the applications where they're needed. And Equinix can really help organizations with that, partly by helping them reduce their data egress charges with cloud service providers by using the constructs like Direct Connect, ExpressRoute, Google Cloud Interconnect, and at the same time improve their performance and provide better SLAs. So I think AI is really changing a lot of things, but I think we're very well suited to be able to meet those new needs.
Yeah, fantastic. I think the network is crucial because we need to get the data from one place to another quickly, and it's a point in time where a lot of people are experimenting. So, costs, you don't have an unlimited cost when it comes to experimenting these days. You're already spending enough on all sorts of other stuff. So fantastic that you guys can do that.
Exactly.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for supporting AppWorld as well. Great to have you guys out here.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Awesome. All right, thanks folks. Make sure you follow us on LinkedIn, on X, on Facebook, on YouTube as well. And otherwise, check out this announcement. It'll be on f5.com, and I'm sure on Equinix's information as well. And we'll provide those links down below. Otherwise, thank you very much, and we will see you on the next one. Bye now.